Hi, thanks for coming to my channel. This is Midnight Moon Tarot and I'm Diana. This reading is for the astrological sign of Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, or anywhere in your birth chart that Gemini might appear. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to invite you to subscribe and click that little bell so that you're sure to be notified whenever I upload new content. Also, in the description box below, you'll find links to my social media, my Patreon, my PayPal, and links to some really cool things on Amazon I think you guys will like. Okay, now this reading is going to be for the month of February 2020, Valentine's month. Very romantic. Although, keeping in mind that all tarot readings being timeless, whenever you might come across this reading, whether it's a few weeks, months, or even years from now, there should be a message for you within the reading if you feel drawn to this particular reading and wanting to watch it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and calibrate these cards for the astrological sign of Gemini, and ask our angels, guides, and ancestors for any messages that Gemini needs to hear for the month of February 2020. Spirit, what love messages do you have for Gemini for the month of February 2020? Spirit, what love messages do you have for Gemini for the month of February 2020? A couple more times, okay. Spirit, what love messages do you have for the month of February for Gemini? Spirit, what love messages do you have for Gemini for the month of February 2020? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and divide these into 3. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I almost picked them up in the same order I put them down. Okay, so the card on the bottom of the deck, oh, Lovers, all right. So this card is the overall energy for this particular reading. And as we go through this spread, I'm going to show you how this card is going to relate to the others that are in that. You know, the Lovers talks about a very deep, loving bond, a soulmate, a counterpart type connection that you have with someone in particular. It's a very sacred union, blessed by an angel. This person is it for you, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do is lay out 4 columns here for those of you who are new here. The first column represents you, what you recently may have gone through. The second column represents your partner, your beloved, your twin flame, soulmate, divine counterpart, whoever is first in your thoughts in the morning when you wake up, and the last one you think about when you go to sleep at night. The third column is obstacles and challenges. And the fourth is outcome. Now this is a total of 8 cards that I've just laid out, 2 cards in each column. I'm going to do this 2 more times for a total of 24 cards. And this will give us a pretty complete story usually by the time we get to the end of the reading. Now in your column we have the 5 of Pentacles as well as Temperance. All right, so Temperance talks about, you know, we have a dark side as well as a very positive and illuminating side. It's finding that balance between the two. It's the same thing as far as like when you're in a relationship. It's that give and take. And you may feel like with this 5 of Pentacles beside it, you may feel like you're the one providing all the positive outlook for this relationship that you're in. Although you don't mind giving, sometimes it's nice to have that given back to you, and that little bit of reciprocity, that that give and take we were just talking about. You want to feel as appreciated as the way that you appreciate your partner. Okay, so your partner has the Seven of Swords as well as the Eight of Pentacles. So you may be dealing with someone who is like, they're super focused on their work and your career, which may be the reason why you're feeling just a little bit neglected and like you're not getting back the attention that you need from them. They're giving the appearance to you that, maybe there's something else going on. Maybe there's something they're not telling you. I don't really get the feeling that is going on, which is usually what the Seven of Swords is talking about, that sneakiness, that manipulation, that lying and stuff. They may have done things in their past that make you inclined to feel that might actually be what's going on. But in actuality, they're either just exhausted from working so much and putting, things in there, which can be, especially for a Gemini, it can be a really good thing, because I'm an air sign myself. I'm a Libra, but Gemini, you being an air sign as well, sometimes we're just, we need the grounding of an earth sign. They may actually like be building and working towards that future, having these future goals that they are putting forth. Sometimes, during the courting stage of a relationship, we're showered with all this attention. But when we have someone who chooses their partner like a general chooses their lieutenant, they know you're there. They are, I hate to say, taking you for granted, but they just expect you to know that because they are there, and because they are providing, and because they are someone who has that focus on building a future with you, and they're not home as often as you would like them to be. It doesn't mean that they're being sneaky or running around or being deceitful behind your back. It means that they're building their empire here, okay? And it's never ever intended to make you feel as if you are left out or neglected, okay? Now our obstacles are, we had the King of Cups as well as the King of Wands. All right, well, when you are in a relationship and your partner is absent a lot due to work or traveling or opposing work schedules, say you work daytimes, they work night or whatever, there is a lot of time that you are spending that is in the absence of your partner, which draws the attention of other kings, okay? So you definitely have this attention that's coming in. You have to decide what the value of the relationship is that you are actually in before your loneliness draws you away and makes you maybe do something that you might later regret. Okay, careful, when you're receiving that attention that you need from your partner and you're receiving it from others. Okay. Now in our outcome, we have the Nine of Pentacles as well as the Page of Cups. All right, so we do have that loving that your lover is reaching out to you. They are vocalizing, they are verbalizing what it is that they need to hear from what you need to hear from them. And you are still super focused on this relationship, so that's good. You don't fall for the other people who are trying to step in and take your person's place when they're not around. You are seeing the same thing that your partner is on. They're the Eight of Pentacles or the Nine of Pentacles. You are building the same future that you want. The same future that your partner is building as well. So it's It's good to, voice your emotions and talk to your partner and tell them, when you're feeling lonely. Don't be afraid to, talk about it or open up. It can help bond that relationship between the two of you a little more. Okay. So, in your column, we have 8 of Swords as well as the 10 of Pentacles. All right. Your partner is 4 of Wands and the 8 of Wands. Your obstacles are the Queen of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. And your outcome is Queen of Pentacles and the 6 of Swords. All right. So when we come to your column, when we're talking about this 8 of Swords here, this is someone who is so blinded by their fears and anxieties and insecurities that they're afraid to move. They're afraid to move forward. They're afraid to stay. They have these doubts. The same ones we were talking here about, you feeling left out or not enough time wasn't being spent on you, and it's causing you to think things like maybe your partner is interested somewhere else. You are really and truly, your partner's the 8 of Pentacles and you're the 9 of Pentacles, and and here comes the 10. You guys are working together for this future. This is what you have to keep your mind on. This is what you need to stay focused on. Don't let these inner fears and anxieties cause you to make mistakes or to not put as much into the relationship as you should be. She's blindfolded here. She's scared to take a step forward. She doesn't know what's in front of her. She feels these sharp swords behind her. The 8 of Swords talks about a mental prison that keeps us from moving forward in our lives. So ignore that. Your partner, okay, with Valentine's Day coming up, we have this happy time here. We have the 4 wands that mimic the 1111, which talks about soulmate relationships and this loving energy, this celebratory time. And we have Valentine's Day coming up. Your partner is going to be very quick to show you exactly how they feel. They're going to open up and they're going to provide you with maybe just a little shower you with a little more attention than what's been going on or what they've been able to due to scheduling and work and different things that are happening. And so with the obstacles and challenges, we have the 4 of Pentacles as well as the Queen of Swords. Okay, all right, Gemini, be careful that when you may be feeling resentful that you're not getting enough attention from your partner, that you don't screw it up by trying to make promises to them that you're not going to be able to keep. If they don't spend more time with you, you're going elsewhere, that there are others that are interested in you. That's not necessarily a good thing to be bringing up or throwing that into your partner's face, because good and well you want the attention of your partner. You don't want the attention of these other people. So just keep focused on yourself, your family life, your work, whatever it is that keeps your mind off of these little tricky things that want us to that come in and want to mess our lives up. Okay, so Miss Queen of Pentacles and 6 of Swords. Again, this talks about making a trip over water, traveling, journey over water. It talks about moving away from something. It talks about making that final decision of cutting things off or moving on elsewhere. Some of these fears are still bleeding over into your everyday life. Your ultimate outcome that you want is to be this Queen of Pentacles. And this is whether you are male or female. It's the energy that the Queen is projecting. There's no gender in the tarot, so don't get hung up because it's a queen and you're a guy, or if it's a king and you're a female or whatever. Just remember that this is what This is what you guys want right here. Both of you want this very much, but you're both like really, really spending a lot of time keeping things going, and you know, monetarily, whatever. It always almost takes two people most times to keep a household running these days. So just stay really, really focused on that. Now in your column we have the Two of Cups and the Five of Cups. All right, we have Star and the Moon in your partner's column. And then the obstacles and challenges is Nine of Wands and the Eight of Cups reverse. And in your outcome, we have the Sun as well as the Magician. A lot of major arcana showing up right here for this final row. So yeah, we have this Two of Cups, and this is about that reconciliation that's coming together. Looks very, very similar to the Lover's cards. Both unions are blessed by the angel. This is your ultimate outcome here. And in order to get to that, you're going to have to reconcile your differences. You're going to have to put those things behind you that are keeping you from moving forward. You're going to have to set your fears aside. You have to realize that you really haven't lost anything. These two cups are here all along, all right? Alrighty. Now your partner's card is, you know, we've got the Moon and we have this Star. Okay, so the Moon talks about, you know, everything that's done in the dark comes to light. And earlier, you know, in the same row, they had the Seven of Swords. There may have been some things in your partner's past that maybe you still feel a little uneasy about. And, you know, once this is an eclipse that's going on here, and once that shadow from the earth passes and there's no longer, you know, and it's illuminated by the sun again, a full moon illuminates everything like it's daytime almost sometimes. So all these things, you know, this is in the past. This has happened before. You're aware of all these things before. But you have to realize that when you decide that you're coming into reconciliation with your partner, this is a whole new beginning. This is a cleansing of, you know, past errors. Kind of like a baptism, and it washes away all your sins and stuff. You know, you have to put all those things behind you and have that forgiveness in your heart, and they have that for you as well. You know, nobody's perfect. That's more of this give and take here. And then you just have to realize what it is you actually want, that you do want this, okay? And so in order to have that, you're going to have to like learn to not let your fears get the most of you, not let your anxieties and emotions stop you from moving forward because you're afraid that these things may happen again. So of course, when we come to your Nine of Wands here, I'm sorry. I have an angel right here on my table, okay, a very big one. Here she is. Here she is. I'm going to pick her up here. See, she's very beautiful. Okay. But listen, she just moved. It was weird. Okay. She just moved. I don't know what that was about. Okay. So we have the Eight of Cups reverse and the Nine of Wands. So Nine of Wands, yeah, you're still feeling a little guarded. You know, you can't, it's like when you have a little kid, or when you were a little kid and you touch that stove and you know never to do that again. Well, you were hurt. So you're still feeling like you might not want to do these things again because you don't want to be hurt. It was such a terrible experience. You've contemplated walking away from the relationship. Earlier in this obstacles and challenges, we had this Queen of Swords. This feels like a really good, solid relationship. It feels like there may be a little immaturity going on. I don't know if this is a young couple, you know, early 20s or whatever. Yeah, that's actually what it feels like. So don't, give it a chance. Have an opportunity to grow. I don't know if you have babies. I'm feeling babies or a baby. Don't walk away. This is somebody who has actually on the same track and on the same mindset that you're on. So consider everything before you walk away. Now it is in reverse, which tells me that you're not doing it, but you've considered it, you've thought about it, especially during those times when you were feeling like you're not receiving enough from your partner. Okay, so we have the Sun and we have the Magician. So it tells me absolutely you're going to be able to manifest this love, this Ten of Pentacles, okay? This one true love, this soulmate energy that you have with your partner. The Sun, it talks about, lucky, it talks about growth, it talks about the potential. You see this little child here. It talks about the future. It talks about, building that life together with someone. And you have all of these, you have all of these aspects coming up in this reading. So, be patient. You have everything you've ever wanted right here. This is really, really a good reading here. We all sometimes feel as if, we go through cycles in our relationships where you feel like you're not getting enough attention. It's important to keep those times very intimate when you do actually have time to connect with your love. So just keep that in mind instead of, complaining or, make it where it's something that both of you look forward to, is spending time together in order to create more time together. That's what this Magician is about. Whatever you put out, that's what you get back. It's like during the law of attraction, okay? So if you want love, you give love, okay? Give love, get love. That's it. All right. So that's your reading, Gemini, for February 2020, Valentine's month. And I just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate all your subscribes and likes and shares, comments, and all your generous donations and all the encouraging emails that I've received from you guys. I really appreciate it, and I love you all so much. Bye-bye. Good night.